NBC 15 Law Call.
Welcome back. We have Mobile Mayor Sandy Stimpson on the phone with us tonight with Law Call. We are taking your questions live right now. The phone lines are open. If you have a question or a comment, please give us a call. He will be taking your questions. We've been getting some trickling in the commercial break here. Let's get to Whitney's question. Whitney wants to know, she's recovering from COVID-19. Is there an alternative for those who are scared to go back to work? What do you tell people, and this might be a Bill question, what are the options for folks who, for whatever reason, maybe they have an underlying health condition, it's a child care issue, what do you tell them about alternatives to going back to work?
So let me just speak for what we're doing at the city, and for the last 5 days we've been working on a return to work policy based on the most recent CDC guidelines, and probably tomorrow we will release that policy. But, in the case of the city of Mobile, we have different classifications of workers. And for instance, your fire department, your police department, and your public works, they are essential employees. So there's a certain category that they're in. So we're going to make sure that there are exemptions for them to return to work quicker than normal. And so every business is going to have their own policy based on the company's understanding of the CDC guidelines. So my recommendation is first to find out what her company is suggesting that they do. And if she has a problem with that, then it'd be like any personnel issue that you would have with your company. There are ways for her to follow up on that.
Yeah, and you might want to, Whitney, Google Families First Coronavirus Response Act, the Employee Paid Leave Rights, because and I'm looking at this right now just on my phone, but it outlines how you can take paid sick leave. There's different ways to qualify for that, and one of the ways is if you have an underlying health condition or if you have COVID-19. So I just recommend just looking that up, and that might help answer your question too. Again, that's the Employee Paid Leave Rights under the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. Let's get to a comment from Faye. Faye says that she notices people wearing masks to enter stores, but then they take them off once inside. Why won't management do anything? That's for Bill or the mayor, if anyone has a response.
So that the comment that they were taking it
go ahead.
When they got inside
go ahead,
the
Mr.
store?
Mayor.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think she's saying they're noticing once they wear them to get into the store, but then as they're walking around the store, they take them off, and management's not confronting them about it.
I think that's up to the store in order to do that, to confront them. What I see is I haven't actually experienced that. I've seen people taking them off as they get inside the restaurant, which is what you would expect. So I don't have a suggestion other than would be the store's responsibility to say something.
Yeah, and Faye too. I think some stores have directed their employees not to confront people because of, you've seen these viral videos where customers are just going berserk on the employees, and they want to, avoid situations like that. They don't want to put employees in any kind of harm's way. I suspect that many stores may have a policy like that.
Yeah, and I also think it's just kind of the climate and just kind of where we are and where we live and just kind of what we're used to. Again, and I've traveled a lot recently during this whole virus situation, and in some states you see it just like you do here, where people are not going to be compliant. In other states where they've been more restrictive, they don't try that because they know that they will be kicked out in a hurry. I went to a gas station earlier today, and I saw 2 or 3 people walk in without a mask. I had my mask on. All the employees, 3 or 4 other customers had their mask on, but several people just came in and said, they just never blinked an eye, and the employees of the gas station didn't say anything. And so I think it's just, like the mayor said, it's just up to every business. And, some people are tougher on this than others.
I wanted to get a question in for the mayor. You know, Mobile County Public Schools, they're delaying when they go back, they're doing virtual learning, but as of right now, the way the state has left it, it's up to the local districts to decide about sports, and sports can go on. You know, I've been seeing comments where people are concerned, you know, if it's not safe enough to return to the classroom, is it really safe to have fall football? Are you talking to the superintendent about this? Do you have thoughts on fall sports in Mobile?
So I do talk to the superintendent, but he and I have actually not discussed the fall sports program. But we did discuss, you know, his rationale for the decision that he made on the opening with virtual for, you know, 9 weeks. And so what it boiled down to was, you know, because of it had as much to do with the teachers as it did the students. And with teachers getting sick, you know, how many substitutes did he have, and, you know, how was he really going to handle the absenteeism among teachers? And that's probably the driving force for him making the decision he made. But I've not had the discussion on fall sports.
Okay, all right. Well, sorry, go ahead, Bill.
No, Mr. Mayor, you know, we're obviously the mask ordinance here in Mobile and in the state of Alabama is a big deal, and it's, you know, we you know, obviously we see on Facebook and we see on social media, which I try to stay off of, but, you know, it is it's a hot, you know, potato when it comes to topics here in town and across the state and the country. When does our mask ordinance in Mobile end, and when, or do you expect that it's going to extend?
So ours ends the 31st. It runs, you know, concurrent with the governor's order. So
right.
We will be, I'm sure, and having multiple conversations with the mayors of the large cities, along with the governor's office, and looking at the data every day, you know, to see if we can see that it's plateaued, hopefully falling. But until we can probably, my guess is probably Wednesday. We'll have a good idea. Wednesday or Thursday, we will have to make a decision whether to announce that it will continue.
Gotcha.
All right, we're going to take just a quick break. We'll be back with more of your questions for Mobile's mayor. Stay with us.